Hey, what is going on YouTube? This is Will, and in this video we have another anime figure unboxing. So these are actually 4 figures that my wife ordered from AmiAmi. She actually already unboxed these because we got them like 2 weeks ago, and she just couldn't wait for me to make this video. So this is more of a viewing of the figures that we got. So before we jump into it, guys, be sure to do all that YouTube stuff down below. It helps the channel out. And yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it. Now, all 4 figures that she ordered are all Figuarts figures. She got 2 from Jujutsu Kaisen and then 2 from Demon Slayer. And the first one we're going to be looking at is going to be Itadori here doing his black lightning attack, which I believe for the first time is what this is trying to signify. Real quick, here's the box if you want to check it out. It's a pretty decent sized box. And one thing about this is that the entire figure already comes together. You don't have to put anything together yourself, which I actually kind of appreciate. Because, that's kind of pain in the ass putting these black lightning things together if I had to. So I really do appreciate them already, having it together. But yeah, just looking at the figure itself, his pose, that's the first thing that kind of stands out to me. I'm really liking his pose because I feel like if you have a, character like him, a melee fighter, you want him to be kind of a little bit more dynamic than maybe some other characters. And, this pose is just perfect. And then kind of looking at his uniform and how it's sculpted and painted, it's not like the best paint job I've seen on a character, but it's not too bad either, especially considering this figure only costs $40 and there's a lot going on with this. So paint job is pretty good. And then the sculpt of his actual like hair, how they did his face, all, pretty good job for what you're getting. And again, I'm not gonna be holding this figure like right up to my face the whole time. It's gonna be my detail. I'm gonna be looking at it from like a foot or 2 away. And yeah, it looks pretty good from there in my opinion. So looking at the actual black lightning, now I've seen some videos from like a month or 2 ago where people were complaining about the connections from with the black lightning to his actual body being a little messy, and mine are pretty clean. Pretty clean. I can't see anything wrong with it whatsoever with the actual connections to him. So very clean, seamless look. The black lightning itself looks very good. Really smooth, no jagged edges or anything coming off it or anything like that. So I would say that was very well done. The only issue I have with the black lightning is maybe not black enough for me. I don't know what it is about it, but mixing 2 different colors is probably not really easy. So I'll take it. It's not too bad. And yeah, overall, guys, for a $40 figure, $60 if you want to include shipping, I would say this is a solid, A figure, 9 out of 10 maybe, I guess. And yeah, I would definitely recommend this to people who like Jujutsu Kaisen, who like Itadori. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to our next figure. So next we have everyone's favorite, Gojou, shooting his purple hollow, or hollow purple, whichever way you say it. And here is the box. This box is huge compared to the Itadori box. Again, he comes already, together. You have to put anything together yourself. So it is going to be a very big box. But, looking at this figure, I think he looks pretty good. Just looking at the figure itself and looking at him himself, the paint job is pretty similar to the Itadori. Pretty well done. Pretty decent amount of shading here as well. And what I really like about this figure is that they're really kind of signifying that, force coming when he, actually projects his attack. So you have like the bottom of his pants, you can see kind of they're being blown back against his shin, off against his left shin. They're kind of pulled off his ankle, which is pretty accurate to what was actually happening in the scene in the anime if you go back and rewatch it. So definitely like that. He's some pretty shiny shoes, actually look pretty good as well. And then of course you have this big white part here kind of signifying he's, launching the attack itself. And then kind of looking at the, hollow attack, it's pretty what you would see in the anime. It's not perfect, there is a big purple sphere, so they can only make it so big. So I appreciate, the effort put into what this, is actually trying to represent. Now, moving on to his face, I do think a lot of figures are having a hard time with Gojou's face without his mask, but I do think this is a good attempt. The only issue I have with it is that he doesn't look as focused as he did in the anime during this scene. But yeah, this figure costs $45 plus again another $20 for shipping, so $65. I would say this is another really good figure. I mean, Figuarts, pretty nice budget friendly figures they have here. These are my first ones, so I haven't really seen any other ones, but so far I'm pretty impressed with this. But yeah, that is the Gojou figure, and it's another one that I would probably recommend to people if they're a big Gojou fan. Now moving into Demon Slayer, so the first figure that we're going to be looking at is going to be Akaza, also known as Upper 3. Here he is, real quick. Here's the box. Much smaller box compared to the Jujutsu figures that we were just looking at. So I do appreciate that. But, looking at him, I'm going to start the negatives first. The one negative that I have about is his pants. I feel like the paint job on his pants isn't like the best. It looks like in the movie, I'm looking at it right now on my screen, his pants are just straight up white. Right? And here, I feel like they just try to do too much with the shading or something like that. I don't know what it is, but it's not quite white, and it just looks a little weird sometimes. But I would say that's kind of a small issue that I have with it, because the rest of the figure itself looks awesome. So first of all, the paint job on his body, he has a lot of stuff going on with his body, but the paint job is perfectly done. Like absolutely no issues with the blue stripes all around his body and on his face. His face looks pretty good with his purple eyebrows. His hair is pretty well sculpted and painted. And, this is definitely, signifying some action here, just like the other figures we've been looking at. And he's up in the air, and he's about to launch his, airstrike attack against Rengoku from the movie. And yeah, it's just really cool. He kind of, signifying more motion here with his vest and then little tassels on his belt. Trying to, kind of show he's in the air. And yeah, I'm definitely feeling this figure. This figure cost us $45, so add another $20 for shipping, $65 total. I'll say it's well worth it. I would give this like probably a 9.5. Again, only issue I have with it is the color of his pants, but that's a very, very small gripe for me, because it's really not that big of a deal. It still looks pretty good. I just don't think it's quite accurate as to what the anime is portraying. But yeah, that is Akaza. Now let's jump into the final figure. So last but not least, if we have an Akaza figure, we have to have the companion figure, which is going to be Rengoku. So here is Rengoku real quick. Here's a box, slightly bigger than the Akaza box. There it is, just a box. I'm never gonna see it again probably. But this figure is probably my favorite today. So first of all, there are a lot of Rengoku figures, a lot of them, but this one cost us about $60 total with shipping. So about $40 for the figure itself. And we did get it pre-owned with a AmiAmi rating of A. And, we paid another $20 for the shipping, so $60 total. And this is a great figure. I mean, again, there are a lot of Rengoku figures, but if you want something with pizzazz and you don't want to break the bank trying to, pay for it, this is a pretty good option. So just look at him, starting with his actual pose. I love those dynamic poses of him actually doing his attack and dashing forward. His sword has, everything that you want in terms of the detail. Then looking at his actual cape back here, there's a nice little gradient going from the white to the yellow, and then you have the red flames at the bottom. The paint job overall, it's not like the best paint job I've seen on a figure, but again, this is just a $40 figure, so you can't really ask for too much, and you're not gonna have it, that close to your face most of the time anyway, so I can't, stress that enough. Now, this figure does come with two different face plates. My wife decided to go with the face plate with the blood on his face, but he also has one where he's just, has a clean face. And then looking at the actual flame effects here, they're really well done. They are pretty cool. So again, for a Rengoku figure, again, you have a ton of them, and at a reasonable price, I couldn't be mad. I couldn't be mad. Now, of course, when we display it, we're going to have it with the Akaza kind of facing each other, I guess, is what my wife is going to want to do. So that's what we'll do. But yeah, it's a cool figure for sure, and my favorite from today. So what did you guys think about today's figures? Do you think they are worth the price? Let me know down in the comments below. I have about 3 more orders coming in from Bai as well as AmiAmi in the next few weeks. So be sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification so you're notified when those videos drop. And definitely hit that like button. Definitely helps out the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Thanks for watching. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.